Reese Watkins, Baby Goose.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for doing this. I appreciate this, taking the time to do this.
Of course, man. Of course.
But 4-0 professional fighter off of a flying knee knockout, which was fucking sweet.
Yeah.
So very important first question. What is swing or get swung?
It started as kind of like a joke because I used to play Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
It's a video game. And, it's split into like attackers and defenders.
Mm-hmm.
And for a long time, there was a advantage to attackers, basically. So basically, it was like shoot first and you win, pretty much. So the person who saw someone first and shot first usually won. And I was like, hey, that's pretty good. And so I just started saying it. And I'm like, this kind of applies to fighting, especially applies to how I fight. With a lot of pressure, and I like to get inside and throw combos. So I just started saying it, and it kind of stuck. And more and more people started saying it. So I was like, hell yeah! And then I knew it like stuck for real when I was sparring. I was sparring out in Vegas, and Chris Curtis was like helping me for a camp because he had just torn his hamstring, so he was watching my rounds, and I just wasn't going. He was like, Reese, swing or get swung. Like he was saying that while I'm sparring, and I was like, man, like it's made it for real. So
hell yeah, that's sick, dude. Do you ever watch what's his name, Jinxie?
Yeah,
dude, that guy's funny as shit.
Sometimes, yeah. So I see his clips a lot, so it's pretty funny.
I see the clips all the time on TikTok when I'm sitting there just like scrolling. He's a funny ass dude,
right?
But so 4-0 as a professional fighter, what does that look like when you're at a stage? Because we were talking before this thing started, and you were like, hey, look, I really want to get into some larger organization, like national organization this year. So when you're 4-0 at the regional level, you're trying to make that jump. What does life look like for you? Like training, are you working outside of just fighting? Like what's the makeup?
So for me, for most guys, but for me personally, training is like a job. So, I work part-time in a bar. I'm a barback, and I work about, 25 hours a week at the most, but I train probably like 30, 35 hours a week. Like, I'm in the gym training or driving to the gym, doing something. So basically we treat it like a job. And I've been training like that for like 2 years pretty much. So before I was even making like any money fighting, still amateur, I was training twice a day like I was professional. Like I used to work at UPS when I was 19. So I would go into work at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Get off work, go to the gym, come home, go to sleep, go back to the gym, go back to sleep, and then go back to work.
What the
I did
fuck?
that. I did that as an amateur because I did that. What was that? Was that before I dropped out of school? That was before I dropped out of college. Like right because I took a gap year in between high school and college. And I worked at UPS, so I did that for like 9-10 months, just 5-6 days a week. UPS, gym, sleep, UPS. I was drinking like a bang or two a day, trying to get through the day. It was rough. So basically what life is like now is trying to set yourself up to be ready to take that opportunity. So, yeah.
Okay. So training twice a day, grappling, strike, or like what's that breakdown?
Me personally, I grapple more than I strike, actually, now that I think about it. I know like I'm a striker, but I spend a lot of time wrestling, a lot of time doing jiu-jitsu. So like Mondays usually wrestling, Tuesdays sparring, Wednesdays grappling, and I do pads, Thursdays sparring, and then more grappling. Friday I don't really train, Saturdays sparring or grappling or something, and then Sunday is more grappling. So most of my time I actually spend like on the mats. Majority of it is usually wrestling or jiu-jitsu or MMA, like or MMA with a focus on grappling. And then and then outside of that, I'll do strength and conditioning either in the morning or in the evening, depending on if I work or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all of that, that's a crazy amount of time to be putting in a fucking gym, especially as an amateur when you're not even getting paid for it. But did that make the jump, you think, easier going from amateur to the regional fights?
Yeah, for sure. It did. I'll say, for me, that jump, nothing really changed as much like training wise. I just kind of did the same thing I was doing, and it made it pretty easy.
Okay. What changed competition-wise? I mean, from opponent speed, everything going from amateur to regional fighting?
It's a little faster. The gloves are obviously smaller, but the best way I can describe it is it's sharper. So you probably like a slap feels like.
Yeah.
It can kind of feel more like a slap, like getting hit, because there's less padding on the gloves. So it's a little faster like that. So, and then the rounds are 2 minutes longer. But other than that, I was already doing like 5-minute rounds in training, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I'd say that little that the gloves, the little padding in the gloves, it's like more real. So that's the biggest thing.
You get more nerves for the pro fight than the amateur fight? Same nerves, same everything?
I was always like the same amount of nerves. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you're pretty open on your TikTok, which is funny as shit. I was telling you before about being nervous and everything, which is, it seems like a lot of people are like, nah, bro, I don't feel fucking nerves. Like, I'm fearless.
Nah, man. Most people, if someone says that, they're either lying or crazy. You get the actual like crazy person who just doesn't care. They just show up and fight. But no, everyone's nervous, because like this is hours of your life, especially for like one fight. That's probably like 6 or 8 weeks of work on top of years of work to get to that position, and everything can change in like a moment. So it's nerve-wracking.
Don't really get to make too many slip-ups, otherwise shit gets kind of gnarly.
Yeah.
You were talking a little bit about, I think, so you had a gap year. You were fighting. Were you trying to train when you went off to college and take fights?
Yeah, I was. I went to Howard in DC, and then I trained at Ryan Hall School in 50-50. It's right outside of DC. So I was going there, and that was part of not his school was part of the reason I dropped out, but because I wasn't able to go as much as I would like, because I stayed like right in the heart of DC. I don't know if you know where Howard is, but it's like in DC proper.
Okay.
And Ryan Hall School 50-50, it was in Falls Church, Virginia. So it was at the end of the metro line. So to get there, I would walk a mile to the metro. Then I would take 2 different metro lines. I have to switch. So I'd take 40 minutes. Then I'd walk another mile to a school. Then I have to do the whole thing back. So yeah, it was like getting there was like a 90-minute, 2-hour process, So and then on top of school, I was only able to do that like 3 times a week. So yeah.
Sit there, just got bored of school. You're like, what the fuck am I doing? I want to go fight people for a living.
I didn't really want to go in the first place. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. Because I gotten scholarships to go. Yeah. So I was like, might as well. So I tried it, and I'm like, this is not for me. And so I took a fight. I took a fight when I was coming back. So like the end of end of my first semester, I was getting ready for a fight, and I took it. Like I fought as soon as I got back, and then and then I came back, and then fought again at the end of summer. But yeah, especially like when I first went up there, I went up almost on crutches because I have fought like that Saturday, and I flew to school on Monday, so I was still like limping around and shit. And
what the fuck?
Yeah.
The fight you took when you came back, was that still amateur?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I fought Emmanuel Osho.
And then what's like the timeline between coming back from school, fighting that guy, dropping out, going pro? Like, what was that timeline?
I fought him. I went back for my second semester, and then I dropped out at the end. Dropped out, flunked out, same thing.
Same shit. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna like lose my scholarships because I just was not trying.
Yeah.
So dropped out, and then I took a last amateur fight in August of that year. So semester ends in like May. Fought in August. Then I tried to fight again one more time, but the promotion just fell apart. And then the next year in April, I took my pro debut.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Did you say your grandma wrote you out of the will because you dropped out of college?
Yeah. I mean, she put me back in now.
After you knocked the dude out?
Because she saw that I was like this is real. Like, like I was kind of good and I was making some money. But for a minute, she wrote me out her will, bro. She was like, because it's hard for people, especially for like, understandably for my parents, it was hard for them to get. There's no like pipeline for MMA kind of like for football, play high school football, you go D1, you get drafted, hopefully, or you go signed to a practice squad or baseball. There's no pipeline like that. So MMA, it's super random, right? You can come from wherever. So they didn't really get that. So I was trying to tell them like, no, I'm gonna do it. But there's like no one I can really point to like, because everyone's there asking me like, well, what's your plan? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't really know. I don't really have a timeline. Just trust me. Just trust me. And, it was hard for them to wrap their minds around, understandably. So, yeah, my grandma wrote me out her will. She put me back, so it's all good. So, yeah.
That's nuts. Do your parents, your family go to your fights?
Yeah, they do.
How do they handle that?
My mom gets real into it. She, doesn't watch any fighting except for me. And then she's always the loudest one. And then my dad, he likes it. And then all his friends like it. So, they like it.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking of like a mom sitting there watching her kid lock himself in a cage, and she's like, "Oh my god, what is happening?"
She kind of does. I remember one fight, my first pro fight. I got on top of the cage. I was flicking everyone off, and there's a photo of my mom right under the cage. She's like, "Yeah, go!" And I'm on top of the cage, just double bird, just flicking everyone off. So
hell yeah, you get to do whatever the hell you want after you knock someone out.
Yeah, right. One of my sponsors just texted me. He's like, "Yeah, me and the kids are watching." I went to ooh, I don't know about that because I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm liable to say after if I win. So yeah.
What's that feel like? You stop someone, you knock someone out. Obviously, I saw you at the 420 card, and it was it looks like you're on a fucking high when you knock that dude out.
It depends. That one was a big adrenaline. It's like an adrenaline dump, kind of, just on top of the world. The fight before that, I was actually kind of pissed because I won, but I didn't win how I wanted to. So I was way more subdued, I guess. But usually it's just it's everything just kind of melts away. And you're just kind of in that moment. So it's pretty cool.
I was going to say, I could tell from the adrenaline dump, the dude that was sitting there, like I said before, that was right next to me and the guy from Odyssey was sitting there talking shit.
Yeah.
He was trying to pick fights with you backstage and you got on the mic and talked a bunch of shit back and then walked off.
Yeah,
I was that man looks like he's on top of the fucking world. That's sick.
Yeah.
So you got a fight coming up, what, June 21st, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So you said you're doing a 6-week camp for that.
Yep.
So what does a typical camp look like for you? The schedule you were saying earlier, you're in the gym 35 hours a week. Does that stay the same? Does that go up? Does it shift how you're training?
The intensity kind of goes up. So, you're usually on a calorie deficit. So you're a little more tired all the time. And then the intensity of everything goes up pretty much. So right now, I'm in the gym, but I'm just training casually,
Mm-hmm.
But when that switch starts to camp, everything will go up. So no rest rounds, no skipping that. Even if you're tired, you got to go. So it's pretty much just the intensity jacks up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so you do that for 6 weeks. How much weight do you drop? Because you fight at middleweight?
Mm-hmm. Which is 185. Usually I'll start camp around 214, 215.
Holy shit.
And then, yeah. And then 214, 215-ish. It depends. So sometimes I'll walk around 210. Sometimes I'll walk around 214. Just really depends. Then I'll get down to 205, 206, middle of camp. And then I go into fight week at 197-ish. No, I go down from 197 to 185 during the week.
What does dropping 12 pounds of water in a week look like?
No salt. That's the biggest thing. Very little sodium, very little fiber, very little calories. And then it's just lots of water. So it's not fun. Get lightheaded really easily. I just kind of lay there when I'm not training. I just kind of lay in my bed and just don't do anything.
What do you do when you're laying in bed? Make TikToks? Watch TikToks? What are you doing?
I just scroll TikToks on my phone, or I just read articles, watch movies, whatever. But I do stuff where I don't have to move. So,
no thinking, no moving, just
no moving, no thinking.
Laying in the bed,
yeah,
chilling.
I don't play video games where I just kind of sit there.
Okay.
Yeah, something that's too much brain power. So
that's fucking wild. So for your camps, you do them a mixture between going out to Xtreme Couture and doing them here?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You just split it equal or?
I split it for how much I can afford to split it.
Okay.
So when I go out, I'll go out there for 2 or 3 weeks total ish. So usually 2 weeks. And then, and the rest of it I do here.
Oh yeah. What's training out there like? I saw a video you were sparring Sean Strickland.
It's intense, man. There's like no rest rounds. Like your rest round, that person's still very good, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is like the intensity and like there's no slacking. So like if you're I remember one time, because on Wednesdays we'll do wall work. We'll do wall work for like 60 or 80 minutes, which is like wall work, right? Wall work is the hardest part of MMA and do that for a fucking hour. So, you know, you go for 20 minutes and then like a water break and then go back again. And I remember one of the first times I was doing that, I was going with Sean and who was I going with? Sean, Alex Polizzi, and then John Poppy. And I was tired. I was like 40 minutes in. It's like my intensity started to drop. And Sean just went like, he's like, Reese. And I was like, God damn. So I was like, can't be slacking. So I would say that's the biggest thing is the intensity. You know, no one lets you. It was great because no one lets you slack. And someone's always getting ready for a fight. So that's pretty much it.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
What makes the wall work the worst part of it?
Because you're carrying someone else's weight and you're carrying, you're trying to pin them up against the cage and, they're trying to explode. So if you're on bottom, their weight's on you. And if you're on top, you're trying to put all your weight on them. So it's that like little leverage battle that makes it really tiring.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like lifting constantly over and over and over and over.
Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. So all of your fights have been stoppages, all of your pro fights. And I think you said all of your amateur wins too, right?
No, my first amateur win was a decision.
Okay.
But the rest of them were stoppages.
How many amateur fights do you have?
I had 6 amateur MMA fights and 5 amateur Thai fights.
And all but one have been stopped?
All my MMA,
just MMA. Okay.
MMA ones, yeah.
Jesus Christ. So is punching power just something you're born with? Like you just are born and, I mean, the one that I saw on 420, it was a flying knee. Mm-hmm. I saw a bunch of your highlights. It looks like you just have fucking hellacious elbows.
Yeah.
Like is that how you stop most of the people, is the elbows or?
No, it's usually a combination of strikes.
Okay.
I like kind of like drown people. So I kind of like mentally and like break them where they're just kind of getting hit so much. And then being in someone's face is like really tiring. It's like mentally tiring, mentally draining, and it's physically tiring. So it's kind of like a accumulation of strikes. And then I only have like one like out cold, like stop, one shot knockout, which was my second pro fight. I hit him with the elbow and he was like done. But the ref didn't stop, decided to hit him again. But poor guy. But that one he was like out cold. Like I hit him and I knew he was gone because he hit the ground. He kind of sat back up, but his eyes are just like that whole like eyes glazed over thing. That's real. You can see it in their eyes. And he was just not there. And I went to celebrate and the ref was like looking at me and I was like, okay. So I had to hit him again 3 more times. And then he was like gone. And like his head was like shaking. And now he was on the ground for a minute, like 5 minutes. And I was like, okay. But he was fine. He came back and got a beer after. Nice guy. But usually it's just the accumulation of strikes that end up to a TKO.
That's fucking nuts. You're sitting there looking at the ref like, don't make me do this.
No, for real, bro. I hit him and I was like, bro, he's not there. But I guess you couldn't see his face because she was behind him. So, but I don't know who's calling me. But still, it was like, bro, that was rough. So.
Jesus Christ. You said, I'd seen a couple of the other interviews you talking about where it's like people break mentally. Is that a thing where you can kind of tell, like when you're fighting them, it's like, okay, that guy's, he's gone?
Especially because I fought a lot of wrestlers and their shots get worse. That's the biggest tell that they kind of panic shoot or they're shoot with their head down. That's a big one. Because usually, you're supposed to wrestle, keep your head up. They're shoot with their head, they're looking down. And you can just kind of see it. Especially wrestlers, if you sprawl and stop them from taking you down and then hit them while they're getting up, they don't like that. So because they want to get you to the ground. So if you stopping someone's shot is one thing, but if you sprawl and then hit them for making them shoot or hit them as they come in or getting back out, that's horrible. Because you're like, I can't get this guy to the ground. That's my game plan. And every time I try to do that, I end up getting tagged. So. Yeah, you can kind of see it on their face and then how their body language is.
Okay. You get to sit there and then you're like, okay, now I've got you. And
Yeah. I can like tell him like I got you. So yeah.
That's got to be a fucking wild moment where you're sitting there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it from the wrestler side. It's like, oh shit, my game plan for this is just completely out the window. This is not working.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like now, more people, opponents going forward will know that I can grapple. But for a while, it was kind of like it was like an open secret kind of that people just didn't know I could grapple because I lost one amateur MMA fight. And it was my second one. And it happened because I got held in the cage. So I guess people saw that, even though it was old, they're like, okay, he can't grapple. And then my first pro fight, I remember the guy tried taking me down. And, after I beat him, he said to me, he's like, we didn't think you could grapple. I didn't know you could wrestle like that. Like after the fight, he told me that. So I guess, secret's out now, secret, but yeah, I can grapple relatively or decently well. So I just don't.
Fuck that. Just want to
just
swing or get swung.
Yeah.
When it comes to the study, the preparation side stuff, is there like a bunch of film on the guys you're fighting typically?
Usually there's a good amount of film. And then Kevin, my coach, wrestling coach, Kevin Sherrill, he watches it. And then Wade Powers will watch it. There's another guy I work with, and Wade and Brantley. But a lot of it is Kevin. Kevin will just watch like everything like and find them. And then he'll do most of the film work. I
would say, do you watch film or you're just like, yo, tell me how I can fuck this guy up?
I'm just like, tell me how. Because I don't like to have like a predisposed like image or whatever in my mind. I don't want to like overestimate or underestimate the guy. So I just kind of let Kevin and other people tell me what they see. And then just go from there.
Okay. Do you feel in terms of the size, like fighting at 185, you're like 6 foot tall?
Yes. No.
Okay.
I'm 5'11" and a half. Half is very important.
Every half inch counts. With that, do you want to drop down? Do you want to stay at 185?
No.
Okay.
I want to go back down to 70. I may not, because one of the nutritionists I work with, she works with a UFC PI, so like she's very good. Yeah, she knows her shit. Shout out to Heather. So I need to get like a DEXA scan to see. So the way I was describing it was I said 85ers, like a lot of them, I feel like I'm as strong as them, but they're wide. I didn't say wide. I said they're girthy, no diddy. I'm like, like you wrap their arms around them to get like a body lock and like, oh shit, this dude has like size to him, So I feel like sometimes I'm a little bit smaller. Well, not sometimes. I know sometimes I'm usually going to be shorter than most people I fight. And then like the size wise, I feel like I can compete strength wise, but like height wise, it's weird. Because 85 is weird because it's like the weirdest division. You have guys who don't make 70 anymore. Then you have guys who are actually actual 185ers. Then you have guys who should fight at 205, but are somehow so good at cutting weight that they fight at 85. So it's like you have these three groups of people in one weight class. So it's a little weird.
I would say there's like the Yoel Romero motherfuckers that you sit there and you're like, there is no way in hell. Or like Alex Bajera or whatever. Yeah.
And like my fight before this was a little weird. I think I was sick or something. So like it was at a catch weight of 190, but I was going into fight week at like 212, right? And then I started water cutting from like 204 to 190, right? And I walked back in the cage at 217, right? But this fight, weight cut was super smooth. I started cutting at like 193, 192. I walked back in the cage at 204. Two fights before that, I walked back in the cage at 199. So it's been a little weird, but I think I've gotten it down to where I average out to walk back in the cage at like 204. But, I'll fight someone who walks back in the cage at, 210. So it's a little weird because, you'll get guys who go into fight week at like 205, and there's me who will go into fight week at like 197. So I would like to drop down to 170, but it's hard. It's hard.
I was going to say, that's a lot of fucking body mass to get rid of.
I think I can do it because like where I've cut from like 191 to 172 before. It was horrible.
I was about to say, how fucking miserable is that?
It was horrible. It was awful, but I've done it.
Okay.
So I think, especially because I put on more muscle now, so muscle holds more water than fat. So it's easier to cut the more muscle you have on you. So I think I can do it, but at the regional scene, there's not really a big reason to. But like if I get signed to like a big major promotion, I probably want to go back down to 170. Yeah.
I say there's some tall motherfuckers that fight at 185. Like I was like, wait a second, that's like
even at 170, bro, you get like guys who are like 6'3", but 185, you get guys who are like 6'3" and like 220 pounds. So it's some bullshit.
There was some dude on that card that fought. I think it was a Thai fight, like way earlier on it, because I was there for a couple of guys from Odyssey, and one of the guys was like 6'1", 145, and I was like, what in the fucking toothpick?
He's weird.
Just fucked up body sizes.
Yeah, it's weight cutting sucks, but it's part of the game. So
yeah, how hard is it? Again, going back to the extensive TikTok research that I did, a bunch of the stuff was about like trying to get amateur fights, or not trying to get amateur fights, trying to get fights in like the local regional card. How difficult is that?
It can be a little hard, especially because 85 is already like a smaller division, so it was hard because of that. And then it was hard specifically for me because I guess guys are like a lot of guys would like watch my fights and be like, no, I'm not fighting him. It's I get it. So it was frustrating for a minute. I just couldn't get anything. So, now it's a little better. Because I'm getting to the point where I can fight guys with more experience. Like commissions won't turn down certain commissions you have to have. They won't let guys who are like 13-6 fight someone who's like 2-0. So I'm getting to the point now where I have enough fights to fight, more people. So, but for a while it was rough.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I would imagine, I mean, what is the matchmaking process like for that? I mean, you fight for NFC, are you like signed to NFC, or was that just for like that one particular card?
So this time I signed a 2-fight deal with them because I fought Josh and I'm fighting Lewis. But usually, no. Usually, most regional scenes don't do multi-fight deals. It happens sometimes, but most of the time, no. People just fight from place to place. And then not until you get to like LFA, sometimes CFFC or Cage Warriors where they do multi-fight deals.
Okay. And that's when you start making a little bit more sponsorship.
Yep.
You have a manager that like handles your...
Yeah, I do have a manager with us, Sucker Punch.
Okay.
So yeah, they're great.
They sit there and like, they go find the fights for you. They do all that shit. You don't have to sit there and DM matchmakers.
Nope. They do it.
That's convenient.
Or like if I see something I like, I'll send it to them. And then they'll be like, okay, we'll try to get that for you or something like that. So, yeah. They handle that.
Okay. So, going out, you said it's kind of pricey to go out to Xtreme Couture, a lot of the stuff that's out there. I mean...
Well, it's just pricey because I get to stay with my friend Tyler and Heather. Big shout out to them. But it's pricey because I'm not working. So,
yeah.
I have to have money saved because that's time I'm spending not working. So, that's the biggest part.
Okay. But, so, going from there, you said the jump from, like, amateur to... going into the professional scene, it's like it was a lot sharper or like snappier. I forget exactly how you worded it. So then you get out there and you start training with people that are like legitimate, like we were saying earlier, you're sparring with like Chris Curtis and Sean Strickland. Is it just that to another level? Like they're just that much sharper, or like it's just the speed aspect, or how's it get different?
The best way I can describe it is it sounds dumb, but like they're in the UFC for a reason. So that kind of sounds like dumb on the surface, but generally like I can compete and hold my own to an extent, so like sparring is not the same as fighting, but I'm not gonna go get like just beat to shit sparring, except for Roman. Roman Delizé always beats me up, but I'm not gonna get like absolutely like just like 10-8 round every time, right? I can like hold, sometimes I can like win, quote unquote, win rounds, but if I win a round, I'm trying like 100%. So I'm not like trying to knock them out, but I'm like, there's no slack in my game. Like everything's firing, I'm like 100% mentally focused, and they just might be like flowing or working, so the biggest thing is that just little small details, they don't make simple mistakes as much. So like one thing is a good way to illustrate is like slipping head kicks. You can slip head kicks like you lean all the way back, right? So like a lot of guys back home, like at Lima or whatever, I can kind of bait them into throwing a head kick or I'll slip it, because a lot of times head kicks and body kicks look the same for a trajectory until like halfway they kind of look the same. You don't know where it's going. but if something's already there halfway, it's kind of too late to slip it. So you see guys, sometimes they try to slip a head kick and it ends up hitting their body, right? So to slip a head kick, I'll throw a head kick and then I know that they're going to want to get it back. And so I know it's coming so I can slip it. That won't work as well much like in Vegas because they don't just make like simple mistakes like that. Or like I sparred, was it Jamal Hill?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. He has a really, really high fight IQ. I don't know how to like put it into words, but you just kind of like feel it. You kind of like feel him like watching you. And then he just finds tiny little openings like that. Or like Sean. Sean kept hitting me with the same shot over and over and over and over. Like 3 or 4 times hitting with the same exact shot because he'll wait for me to do the same exact thing. And he'll just find that one moment and just every time I did that same mistake, he'll just capitalize on it. Jesus. So little things like that. There's like little small details. That's what separates people that are good from people that are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense, especially like you were saying earlier, like in MMA, it's like you don't really get, I mean, you fuck up one time, you get hit with a flying knee, boom, fight's over. Like, sorry, that's a wrap. So you got to be literally on point the entire time.
Yeah.
So you work in a bar, you're hanging out in bars. Do people ever like ask you what you do, whatever, you start talking about fighting and then they just start like trying to bow up on you? Does that ever happen?
No, it's not like they try to fight. Cause I don't talk a lot outside.
Okay.
I just kind of like keep to myself a lot of times. But sometimes they're asked about, fighting and they're like, oh, I gotta come see you fight. But you don't really get that as much as that. Oh, you fight. Oh, I beat your ass. No, that doesn't really happen as much.
I was gonna say that's
no. But although my manager was joking. He was like, I'll spar you. I'm like, dude. He's like, I'll spar you. He's like, you should come play basketball. I'm like, I'll play basketball. I'm horrible at basketball. But he was joking. He's like, I'll choke you out. And I was like, bro, when I come play your sport, I'll just show up. But if you come play my sport, you have to sign a waiver. So,
what the fuck?
Like you have to sign a waiver before you come play my sport, bro. So just joking. But he was just joking. But like just stuff like that back and forth. No, like a lot of my friends actually. Especially I have this one friend from college. He always shit talks me, bro. He talks the most shit to me. He's like, you won't do anything. He's like, I'll beat your ass. Because I'm not gonna like attack him, but oh my God, he's always in my fucking ear. He's just always yapping, bro. And I was like, God damn, bro. So
that's fucking wild.
That's kind of I just let it go.
I was about to say, what's the alternative? Just like take your day out on a dude that doesn't train.
It's like, yeah, I'm like,
4-0 MMA fighter beats the piss out of some dude that has never trained a day in his life. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go to jail. So
this Atlanta dude, you'll be fine.
Right. Yeah, true.
Motherfuckers act wild.
Yeah.
But so going forward, you're fighting this dude on June 21st. Mm-hmm. You said you were trying to get in some sort of shot like later this year, like you applied to Dana White's Contender Series. Is there, stupid question, but assuming the UFC is like the goal for you, or is it like, hey, I just want to go wherever's going to pay me the most money, or is it a combination?
It's a combination of both. UFC is obviously the ultimate goal, but if I just want to be able to make a living fighting, so being able to completely support myself, making enough money fighting. So wherever that is, I'll take that opportunity.
Okay, that's sick. Sorry, I keep going back to the notes thing here. I wrote down a shitload of questions because I was like, I don't want to have a brain fart in the middle of this thing and feel like a moron. When you were talking about dropping out of school too, basically said, hey, look, dropped out of school, the whole thing with the grandma. I think I saw in some interview you said you got hit with a knee in your first fight and you're like, oh shit, I should have stayed in school.
Yeah, I got this scar right here. I still have it from where I got like the stitches out and all that. Yeah, he hit me with a knee and I was like, man, why am I doing this? I'm like, this is fucking horrible, bro. Yeah, I almost got knocked out. And that was a moment. It was like a oh shit moment. But yeah, there's sometimes, while I'll be like super tired or whatever, I've like trained all day, then I have to go to work and, I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I'm like, bro, why am I doing this? This is stupid, bro. But then I was watching, like, I keep all these like edits saved on my phone. It was like different fighters. Like I'll watch, I'm like, I gotta lock in real quick. So I'll log back in. I'm like, hell yeah. But nah, man, sometimes I'm like, why am I doing this? This is stupid as shit.
Dude, you're fucking good at it, apparently, man. You're fucking 4-0, stopped all 4 dudes you fought professionally. That's sick.
Spite. spite is the secret.
Spite? Just being bitter, dude.
Yeah, dude. Just especially, I would get gaslight myself, bro. I'm like, everyone hates me. I'm like, everyone hates me. They want to see me lose. Sorry. I was telling my coach, I was like, yeah, dude, I actually don't want to fight in Georgia again because, I have like crowd advantage. I hate that. I just want to show up. I want people not to like me. I want to go out there, beat them, leave, go get some food. Like just all the extra drama. So I like gaslight myself, bro. Or just think about I'll think about all the times I got curved. Me and my boy Nathan, it's like forbidden pre. So I keep like a record. Like I swear to God, I keep notes on my phone or just screenshots of it where I'll get curved, bro, and I'll just
what the fuck?
Yeah, I'll be like tired and all that. I just open up my phone, go through the notes. It's like, oh man, never again.
Look, I could beat her boyfriend's ass, her boyfriend's ass, her boyfriend's ass, her boyfriend's ass.
The score, so he's like, Reese, you're so funny. I'm like, word, never again, bro. Because I would like shut my chest, like, you're funny, and I was like, fuck you. But I was like, I played it cool, but no, I remember all the time. Yeah, so if you curved me, when I'm making a lot of money fighting, you're the reason. So thank you. But
thank you, and don't bother calling.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. I respect the hell out of that level of petty, dude. Like, no, fuck you.
Petty. Yeah, I don't forget. So
fuck yeah, that's awesome. I respect it. What's like the worst shot to get hit with? Like, what's the worst you ever been tagged where you're like, oh my god, fuck this, like a liver shot, just get shot. Bell rung,
liver shot. Yeah. Actually, a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Roman fucking kicked me in the liver with a spinning back kick so fucking hard, bro. And I swear to God, I finished the round, but he dropped me for a second. And I had to finish the round because I got back up, but it's always liver shots. Especially that he hit me with the back kick to the liver and I walked into it and it was horrible. But liver shots are by far the worst. Liver shots or calf kicks. Because like getting knocked out or getting like rung like that, you don't really like feel it for sure. It's you feel like the effects of it, but you don't feel it. It doesn't hurt in the moment. But calf kicks and liver, because they don't knock you out. It's just all pain. So
what's it feel like when you get liver shotted?
Your body just kind of shuts down. So like you've been hitting the solar plexus before.
Yeah. It's
kind of like that, except super concentrated, and then it spreads to the rest of your body. So like your legs go, and it's just like a sharp pain. And that's the best way I can describe it. It's just like hitting the solar plexus, except concentrated, and then it goes down to your legs.
Fuck.
Your legs give out.
Your legs give out from getting hit in the fucking liver. Mm-hmm. Fuck that.
Because someone, I don't know if it's true exactly, but apparently your liver has a bunch of nerves on top of it. Like your nervous system is split into two sections, like automatic and I forgot.
I think it's sympathetic and parasympathetic.
Something like that, yeah. So one of the groups of nerves has a large grouping on top of your liver. So that's why liver shots hurt as much as they do.
So humans are made to get liver shotted.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is fucked up. You've been tagged back, obviously outside of the knee. Like when you get your bell rung in a fight, is it like your body start freaking the fuck out? You're like, all right, grab a hold of this guy and like get your feet back under you. Is it like, all right, time to swing on this dude? Like what's the...
No, usually it's like, okay, it's just like circle, get back to where you are. But I have been hit one time where I got dropped in my last amateur fight where I was like, okay, I got to wrestle. Because I'm getting dropped, the process was like, you just kind of wonder like what happened. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, oh wait, why am I on the ground? And like, everything kind of happens in slow motion. So you got to process it. But usually it's just like, okay, circle, and it's like, relax, you're fine. Didn't hurt that bad. And then, get back to it.
You like come to in the middle of the fight and you're like, oh shit, I got to get moving.
Yeah.
I did a fucking interview with a bunch of guys from Odyssey about getting like choked unconscious. And I was like sitting there and I was like, I can only imagine like if you get your bell rung and then you come to, and it's like the feeling from coming to after you get choked out, except then there's a dude that's like swinging and you're like, oh shit.
I've never been put unconscious. I have no idea. But
dude, I've been put out twice and both of them were drilling. Neither one of them were live rolling.
Oh my God.
One of them we were drilling like back triangles. And I vividly remember thinking like, this guy doesn't have this choke. Like I'm just going to hang out.
Fast, bro.
And then I woke up and I was like, what happened? And Brandon, who's one of our coaches, was standing over, he's like, you went the fuck out. That's what happened. And just like walked off. And I was like,
damn, they ain't giving you no water.
Okay.
Damn, nothing. Bro, that's fucked up.
And then another one, Brady Hilton? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brady was sitting there and he was just being a fucking dork while we were drilling. We were drilling like mounted arm triangles, and he was just saying some stupid shit, and I was laughing at it, and then I just like felt myself breathing. And like it was all black. I just felt myself breathing, and I was like, and then popped to, and I was like, what the fuck was that?
It's getting rocked is like, they're like little drills we do where you spin around in a circle with your arms out like 3 or 4 times, like simulate it so you're dizzy. So that's the closest thing I can approximate it to. You
drill getting rocked?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So I mean, you gotta enjoy your response. You know, you gotta know how you're gonna respond. So, or like, you know, those like even their playground, they have that pole that spins around really fast. It's kind of like that.
I mean, that makes so much sense, but that's just such a wild thing to sit there and be like, okay, we gotta drill how you're gonna respond when your fucking legs don't work.
Yeah, dude.
What other crazy drills y'all do in a fucking MMA context?
I was hitting pads yesterday in Brentley. We drilled knocking him down and then follow-up shots on the ground. So, because drilling, you know, not getting your legs sprawled out or not getting your legs taken out from under you when the person tries to shoot in like a panic shot. And then what other crazy drills?
I can't get over the 60 minutes straight of wall work. That sounds insane.
That's the worst. It's horrible. You don't want to do anything for the rest of the day. It's kind of lay down. Just lay in my bed. Just lay in my air mattress. Yeah, because I stay in the air mattress. I just lay on my air mattress and don't do anything.
That is fucking insane.
Yeah, but the drilling getting rocked is probably like the weirdest drill that I do. Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting there spinning around.
Yeah, just spin out with your arms open and then
literally just wide. Like your arms out like that and you just spin around like a friggin' top.
Yeah. Just spin around like 3 or 4 times, then drill, you know.
And then someone.
Yeah, sometimes someone's in front of you or whatever, but drill just getting your feet under you, moving, throwing a couple of shots and trying to regain like your balance and all that. Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Uh-huh. Or the first time I was supposed to fight Lewis, because he's probably gonna sell more tickets than me, so he's probably gonna have more of his people there. So I was drilling, getting booed. So I would put on like my walkout music or whatever, and then I edited in crowd noises of like boos. So I would just play it on repeat over and over and over and over. And then I'll be like driving to work and I'll just listen to crowd noise. I'll just listen to people booing. I'll just pull up like hour-long boo compilation on YouTube or whatever, and I just listen to it while I'm at like work or whatever.
Yeah, and probably fucking loved it because you like everyone hating you.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any fans do any like reckless shit like before a fight, during a fight? You fought in Philly, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, fighting the craziest was in New Jersey, man. Not like they weren't fans of like me or whatever. We were just watching the rest of the fights. After I fought, and this dude from New York was fighting this dude from Georgia or like the country, and so he's a Georgia, so he's wrestling the dude obviously, and you have all these guys, these Philly sports fans and New York guys, and like Jimmy, those aren't muscles, Jimmy, they're steroids, Jimmy. They're just going off, yelling, and whatever. They're just getting rowdy and rowdier and rowdier. And but there's just one guy who's just supporting the Georgian for whatever reason. So he's like, fuck that. Get after him. Fuck him up. So, just heavy ass accent. So finally he's like, we're all sitting in a row. He's right next to us. And then there's this older like Philly Italian dude or whatever in front of him. So he gets up and he's like, you got a fucking problem with Jimmy or some shit. And he fucking pulls up his shirt and he has a gun. And he just flashes his piece. And his wife is next to him. It's like the straight out of a movie. His wife's like 30 years younger than him. She's like, no. She's grabbing his arm. He's like, no, calm down. It was getting like crazy. So we were like, yo, we gotta go. But we went to see the rest of the fight. So we just hung out by the entrance, and like, so in case something happens, we get to be like gone immediately. But yeah, no, sometimes fans get a little crazy. Or the worst is like you get someone who's like, man, I used to fight too or whatever. I used to spar, so I know what it's like. It's like, bro, I know you sparred. You had like one amateur fight. Like, it's not the same, bro. Like, we're not the same. But they're just super drunk and they're grabbing you and everything. It's like, get off me. It's like
telling you how they're proud of you, like talking down to you and shit.
So it's like, they're like, man. Or the worst is like someone would be like, you better beat his ass. Like, what do you think I'm trying to do, bro? What do you think the plan is? It's like, obviously that's the plan, dog. So it's like, get off me, I'll kill you. Get off me, bro. But I'm just like, I gotta smile and wave, smile and nod. So.
Yeah, I saw you walking around before the NFC fight. You had the belt and everything, and I wanted to go up and say something. And I was like, you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna say shit to that man. I don't know where his head's at. Like,
I mean that far before was fucking cool. But it's just when like friends get really drunk and try to talk to you or whatever. It's like you just kind of go with it. So.
Do the nerves kick in? Like, how soon to the fight do the nerves kick in? Is it like the night before? Because you said that far out, it's not really
usually like after I weigh in, and then the closer it gets to the fight, the worse they get. So yeah.
Dude, that NFC fight was badass. Did you hear about the dude that pulled the knife out?
Yeah, bro. My friend got tased in the face.
Your friend did?
Yeah,
dude. It happened like right under us. Really? It was fucking wild.
Yeah, dude. I don't know why they put 24 fights on a card. That was a horrible idea because they did it like 20-something fights in January, and everyone was like, "This sucked. Please never do this again." But so, bro,
that dude was doing some fucking Aikido, and like on that the girl, he was like apparently talking shit to some 14-year-old kid. Apparently that's how it started. This is all just absolute hearsay, so whatever. But he was talking shit to some 14-year-old kid like in line to get food or something, and then the guy's like, the kid's mom was like, "Get the fuck away from my kid." And he like bowed up on the woman, and then like 6 dudes walk up like, "All right, you're not about to swing on this lady." And then he like backed up and started doing like this type of shit, like squatting down, and then he straight up just pulled a knife, and that was a
dude. Yeah, that
was a wrap.
Picking a fight at fights has got to be the worst place to do, because we when I was in Vegas since last time, me and Kevin, we met Tyler and Heather. We went to some PFL fights, and it's similar. I was like, oh, it's kind of like NFC fights, except everyone here is like really, really good at fighting, as opposed to like just kind of good and like knows how to fight. No, bro, like there's like ranked UFC fighters, ranked Bellator fighters, just chilling, just walking around, just everyone, because everyone kind of knows everyone, so everyone's kind of hanging out. I'm like, this would be a horrible place to pick a fight because I know who they are, but average Joe Blow or whatever who's just watching the fight doesn't know who like the number 12 ranked welterweight is, but like that person like will kill you. So it's like, this has got to be the worst place to pick a fight because you don't know who they are, but they fight and their friends fight and everyone around you fights. So like, and they're good at fighting too. So, they get paid lots of money to fight. So
then one drunk motherfucker's like,
picking fights at a fight is horrible. Never will run well.
So no one ever tries to fuck with you like while you're out, anything like that? Dude,
no.
I cannot imagine the misfortune of picking a fight with a motherfucker that literally is a professional fighter. Because like there's always like headlines and shit that'll come out. Like I saw one, it was like some dude in Brazil tried to rob some chick that was like,
oh yeah, it was like Polly Vienna or whatever. Yeah, no, it's never had to like beat the shit out of anyone in public. No. It would always, when I was in high school, it would always be like dumbass friends always wanted to like slap box or wrestle. Or I went to this conference type shit in DC, and this girl wanted to slap box, and like I ain't no bitch, so I was like, word. And yeah, dude, I accidentally hit the fuck out of her.
Oh my god!
And looking back now, it's so stupid. But I had like just started fighting like for real. So I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I'll whoop your fucking ass, bro. But because I had that 2-fight amateur confidence. So I was like, I'll whoop the fuck out of anybody, bro. But as opposed to now, it's like, whatever, dog, it's cool. But no, back then I was like, what? Do something. So yeah, she went to slap box. So I'm like, I ain't no hoe. So yeah, I hit the fuck in her. She like busted her lip, but
oh my god,
yeah, it was bad. So yeah, sorry, Kelsey. But yeah, dude. And then at the same conference, there's like another dude who said he boxed or whatever. He's like Golden Gloves and like slap box. I beat the fuck out of him. Just yeah, in like a hotel conference room. I was like, piece his ass up, bro. But yeah. So no, it was mostly my friends that was trying to fuck with me. Mm-hmm.
Well, at least they're friends with you.
Yeah. So
not fucking up.
They won't sue me.
I was about to say, some dumb motherfucker pick a fight, you slap the shit out of them, then they're like, well, my attorney. And it's like, don't start shit you can't back up. But dude, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. This has been fucking cool. I think it's like right at an hour.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we're like right at an hour, dude. So, well, Baby Goose.
Yes, sir.
What, GOOSE?
Yeah, GOOSE. Remember it, bitch.
Plug all your shit,
yeah,
man.
You can follow me.
Talk whatever shit you want to whoever the guy you're fighting, whatever.
You can follow me at Baby Goose MMA on Instagram and TikTok. And Lewis, you're a sad little bitch. All you care about is clout. June 21st, I'm gonna take the one thing you hold most dear to you, which is your image, your clout, your coolness. I'm going to take that in front of all your friends, all your family. I'm going to leave you on the ground. You're going to need another man's help to get up. So face down, ass up, no Diddy. So, yeah.
You're a bad motherfucker, sir. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.